Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Favor here, and if today is your first time popping in here to see me, I'd like you to click on the subscribe button and the notification bell by the side. But if you're a returning subscriber, I want to say a very big thank you for coming in to see me today. So today I've just come to discuss something very important, but quickly, alright? I'm not gonna waste much of your time. I've had several people honestly, I've had several people call me up like, my vagina smells this way, my vagina smells this way. Is this normal? Should I be worried? This and that. What should I take? Should I get medications? And today I just want to talk about uh different ways that your vagina smell and when you should be worried, when you should get medical attention, when you should get tested and stuff like that. Okay, so before I move forward, I'd like to put it out there that the vagina is not odorless. Okay, some several women don't even know what the vagina, the normal smell of the vagina is. So when there's something abnormal, they don't even know. Most of them don't even know that the smell, that there's a bad smell or offensive odor coming out from down there, because naturally they don't even know what they smell like. Okay, but it's quite important that as a young woman or as a woman, that you know the natural smell of your vagina, so that if anything goes wrong, if there's any deviation from the normal, you'll be able to spot it out. Okay, and again, I'd like to put it out there that even though I said that the vagina is not odorless, it doesn't mean that it should be smelly or anything, and it doesn't mean that it should have the sweet fragrance and stuff all the time, right? The smell of a vagina is determinant on the pH of the vagina at that particular time. So it shouldn't have, if it has, it shouldn't just always have a sweet smell or something, right? It has its own particular smell for every woman, for each woman, right? So today I'm just going to go ahead and talk about different smells and what they signify and when you should be worried. Okay, so when you have a fermented kind of smell, okay, smell that how do I describe this? Like it smells as if something is about to sour or something is about to go sour, okay, and it has that smell. I wouldn't say it's something to worry much about, okay, because the vagina houses millions of bacteria, and majority of this bacteria help to keep the vagina acidic, all right, to help protect it from bad bacteria, okay, right, to help fight infection and all of that. So in the process of keeping it in an acidic state, you might be able to perceive this sour smell or this fermented kind of smell. Okay, I wouldn't say it's anything to worry about. It's nothing to worry about if it smells that way, all right? At a particular point in time, there's nothing to worry about that, except if it's accompanied by any other symptom, like there's a discharge or there's itching or any other thing, then you know that something might actually be wrong, all right? Second type of smell would be metallic smell, okay? And this smell mostly comes when we're on a period or when we have any type of spotting, all right? It could be due to blood in the vagina or spotting in the vagina, all right? The blood has its own contents, and iron is one of them, and iron is metallic. So when you're bleeding or when you're spotting or when you have a bloody discharge, there could be that metallic smell, and that is nothing to worry about. Except you're kind of bleeding heavily, that is abnormal, that is different from your period bleeding, or that you're worried about, then that's when I would say you should seek medical attention or medical help. But as long as you're on your period, maybe you just had a sexual intercourse and you spotted a little, and then you notice that your vagina has that metallic smell, it's nothing to worry about. With time, the pH will get balanced, and your normal vagina smell will come back, all right? A few days after your period or a few days after spotting, the normal vagina smell should come back, all right? And if this doesn't happen after some days and you're still perceiving this metallic smell, it would be wise to consult your doctor, all right? Okay, the next one is the sweet smell, all right? The sweet odor. Like I said before, your vagina is not odorless, right? Sometimes due to fluctuation in the pH level, you might get the sweet fragrance or the sweet odor or the sweet smell, right? The vagina is always slightly acidic, 3.5 to 4.5 pH level. So when there's fluctuation in this pH level, you might get that sweet smell, but it's not something that is like all through, or when once the pH of your vagina changes, the smell of vagina also changes. So there's nobody that has a sweet smelling vagina on the parallel, like, no, it's not always like that. So once in a while you can also get that sweet fragrance, but it's also nothing really to worry about, except it lasts longer than usual. Alright, it's nothing to worry about. The next smell will be the chemical smell. Alright, so if your vagina smells like, alright, there's a strong odor coming out that is smelling like a chemical or something, you might start considering whether you might have dripped urine on your pant. Urine contains ammonia, ammonic acid. When you leave it on the pant for a long time, or when it drips on your pant and you don't get it changed, or you wear it like that all through the day, at some point when you take off the pant, you will notice that there's this chemical smell it has. That's ammonia, and that's quite normal. Right, it's quite normal. But when it has that chemical smell and you notice that this is not urine, this is not there's no drops of urine or anything like that, but this vagina still has that chemical smell, that is something to be a bit worried about, just a tiny bit, okay? Because it could be bacterial vaginosis. All right, so if this smell lasts for a period of time and you notice that it is consistent, it hasn't changed, there's a chemical smell, I would advise that you get tested and get treatment, right? Only bacterial vaginosis is usually treated with metronidazole, course of antibiotics for 5 days, for some people for 7 days, right? Common metronidazole for 5 days can even take care of it, depending on what you're having. All right, and bacterial vaginosis is not really, it doesn't really mean that maybe you're dirty, or maybe is because of maybe poor hygiene or anything. No, it could be just due to imbalance in between the good and the bad bacteria in the vagina. All right, and this could happen with a new or multiple sex partners, or probably using some products. Some people use some intimate products to wash their vagina, and this could throw the vagina out of balance, and this could also lead to bacterial vaginosis. All right, doesn't always necessarily mean that you have a poor hygiene or anything. So don't think, oh, I can have this. Even being in an environment with high humidity and stuff like that can even cause an imbalance in the pH of your vagina. So just don't assume that maybe you're very clean and you do this, you do that, you can have it. You can still have it even with your good hygiene and all of that. So it's always wise that you get tested if you're worried about chemical smell and stuff like that. Then the next smell I'm going to talk about is fishy smell. When you perceive this fishy smell from your vagina, your mind should tell you that something is wrong. Actually, is a signal that something is wrong, and you should always get tested, and you should always get seen by a doctor. You should get treatment. It's always a sign that something is wrong. When I say fishy smell, it's not like maybe a fresh fish smell or anything. No, the smell like when you leave fish, like even if it's a boiled fish and maybe you forgot to put it in the fridge or something and leave it for some days, that smell that comes off when it's as if it's about to get spoiled and stuff like that, that type of fishy smell. When you perceive that type of smell that will make you squeeze your face, you should know that something is absolutely wrong. All right, you should get help, get tested, and get treatment. Another smell I'm going to talk about is the pungent smell, right? The smell that comes maybe when you sweat. There are people that are quite sweaty, but you don't have body odor. It's not as if you have body odor, but when you sweat a lot and the sweat dries in your armpit, there's a pungent smell that comes out of that. All right, there's a pungent smell that comes out of that. Most of the times you can perceive that type of smell in your vagina. All right, it doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong, because the groin area has a lot of sweat glands, right? So when you're stressed, or when you're quite busy or around with all your activities, you tend to sweat in those areas. And when this sweat come in contact with the normal flora, normal bacteria in your vulva, all right, it might lead to an imbalance in pH and also produce the smell. Or when you just sweat so much on that groin region and it dries on you, dries on your panties, it can also produce this type of smell. It doesn't necessarily mean that anything is wrong with you, right? So when should you seek for help, right? You should seek for help if you're perceiving any of the smell, even the ones I said that is normal, and they are either accompanied by pain, they are accompanied by stick discharge that is out of normal, not your ovulation kind of discharge. I mean, you're seeing a tick discharge, or maybe you're seeing like you're feeling itching or burning sensation, you're having painful sexual intercourse, you're having abnormal vaginal bleeding, together with any of the smell, you should seek a medical attention, right? You should seek a medical help, right? Visit your doctor, call your doctor, get tested, and know what is actually wrong with you, right? So guys, I think I'll draw the curtain here, but before I go, I'd like you to keep in mind that the smell of the vagina varies, okay? It changes depending on the pH at the moment, right? The pH of the vagina determines the type of smell it gives out, alright? So you shouldn't even get too worried when you notice that maybe your vagina smells in a kind of way, except maybe when it has lasted for some time, for days, and it's not going away, and then maybe you're having some itching or maybe some discharge, or maybe it's giving you a smell that is causing you to squeeze your face, then you should seek for help, alright? You don't even get yourself too worried when maybe a sweaty kind of smell, you perceive it there for a day or two and then it gets back to normal. Don't bother your head too much. We stress our head too much. Don't bother your head too much. Everything might just be normal, except like I've told you, if you're having itching or discharges, or maybe it lasts longer than it should, the smell lasts longer than you should, then you should get a medical help, alright? And the pH of the vagina can be altered by a lot of factors, alright? Not just having new sexual partner, not just using other product, not just, there could be a whole lot of different factors that can affect the pH of your vagina, okay? This will be a topic for another day because I'm not about to make this video longer, okay? So that'll be all for today, guys. I hope you got something out of everything I've said. Hope your mind is relaxed about the way your vagina smells. It doesn't have to smell like perfume. It doesn't have to smell like flower or it's very sweet and stuff like that. It can just naturally smell, so natural, like the way it should smell. It doesn't need to be offensive. It doesn't need to be sweet. It doesn't need to be scenty, but it can just be, normal body smell, like that normal smell. Okay, so guys, that'll be all for today. I'll just have to leave you here, but if you have any question or you have any suggestions, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'll be there to answer your questions. I'll be there to react to your suggestions and your beautiful comments. Thank you very much for coming in today. I love you all. Click on the like button before you go. Bye.